Hi gang, welcome back to Day of Days. We just finished up the 15 June morning turn. All right. So drastic changes. Let's go look over here. Pull this back, pull this camera up a little bit here so you can see this. All right, this is to the west. And as you can see, I decided to pull the Germans back. It seems to me that they're too stretched to be able to build any kind of counterattacking force or reactionary force. So my philosophy is protect Caen and protect the crossings over the double canal. Get the Germans back behind the river in the south of Caen and try to build a counter-attacking force behind the river, because that river cannot be crossed other than at bridges. So I started to pull them back, as you can see by looking down the line here during their movement phase. And at the same time, they needed to attack some Allied units. All right, so in this area here, where are my tweezers? Okay, so you've got the Allies broke out and took this crossing down here. Is that going to last? Probably not. That was probably a wasted effort. But I was hoping that the Germans couldn't respond well enough, and they pretty much have. Now, I'm sure on the next turn, supply will go to crap for these guys. Canadians here, 56th British, I think, or 51st British here. And some of the, 50th British here. And a unit here. So they do have a crossing here. Is it going to matter once the Germans get behind the river here? I don't think so. However, okay, so if the Germans hold Caen and they get behind that river and they hold the canal crossings and that's how the game ends, I believe it would be a draw, because the Brits would need, where's it at? The Brits would need more points. Yeah, so the Brits would need, on two map scenario, well, no, they would need, they get 12 points or more. That's a victory for them. So, and I think we counted earlier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they've got 12 right now. All right, 12 minus 1's 11. Yeah, the Germans are going to have to, they're going to have to counterattack somewhere. They're going to have to take one or two. And it seems to me that right now, if they were to hold what they had right now, it would end in a draw. And if they give up one more victory location, they are going to have to, they're going to have to counterattack, or else they're going to lose. Look, we know eventually they lost anyhow. It would be nice if I could make this fight be frustrating for the Allies all the way through the end of the game. So I may have to regroup right here on this side of the river going to the south. I may have to regroup somewhere in here with the Germans. And I mean, the Brits they're just, the infantry strengths defensively for these things, you see they're 5s. You get 3 of them, that's 15 strength points. You get in light bocage, and on combat, that's a -1 column shift. And anybody that's played this knows how hard it is to get good odds. Unless you surround something and cut off supply, or you DG it and cut it in half. But even if you cut 15 in half, that's 7.5. So you're going to have 7.5 combat strength on defense, and you're going to get a -1 on the bocage. But it appears to me that the Germans really don't have any choice. They're going to have to group up some stuff, go after some targets, and hang on to some of these victory locations, not give the Brits any more. And they may need to push somewhere. I just don't know what they're going to push with. Now, on turn 17, 2 turns from now, they get a monstrous group of units. It looks like a mixture of armor and mech infantry. So maybe that will be the force that will do the trick. All right, so they did get after these Canadians attacking Caen, and they threw them out in this area here. They did knock the Canadians, and they did some serious damage. I think they did 4 or 5 step losses to these guys. A couple units actually got eliminated. So they took them out. We got a Lear unit across the river here, but this guy, a little too much still to go after him. I think it was like 1-to-1. Plus he's in a town or a village. Town. So I didn't exactly attack him, but he's going to have to be thrown out of there. And probably have to deal with the recon unit here, and we'll have to deal with the Canadians down here. Throw them out, secure that. This guy will dissolve eventually anyhow. Since it was the German turn, he was in supply at the end of the Allied turn, so I don't have to think about him now. All right, so Caen looks still okay. I am building a little bit of a force back here in the back with the 21st Panzer back here. All right, a little bit. But you can see this stack that's coming in on the 17th. 17th and looks like the 18th or 19th, so they're going to get quite a bit. All right, and I think that's Lear. No, there's somebody else. No, it looks like Lear. All right, so let's look at the canal over here. Still trying to punch across here, but with the Germans, all they do is they take a DG, usually from bombardment, then they win the combat, then they pull the DG unit out and they put a fresh stack in there. And same thing down here on Horse of Pegasus. They get DG'd, which they actually didn't this time. Oh yeah, they did. It was it was the 21st Panzer. I pulled them out. And then just moved some of this, what is this, 346th infantry in there. Just move them in there to cover the crossing. And they've got units they can interchange with. So I think if you don't want the Germans to have to think too much about where they need to operate, then you hold those 2 crossings. You hold Caen. So you hold the canals. You hold Caen, which is okay right now. And I mean, even if the Allies, Commonwealth, get 3 stacks on an attack on 1 unit, once they get DG'd, they just don't have enough to cause an effect. I mean, you're going to get 1-to-1s, 2-to-1 at the best if you're lucky. So they're going to have to just be bombarded out of there one way or another, which is, if you've got a heavy, which is a 4 on a hit of a 4, now because they're in the city, you're taking 2, so now they've got to roll a 1 or a 2 to hit. And then to do any damage, since they're in the city, they have to roll a 6. All right. Your light artillery, like your mortars and stuff, they can hit on a 1, but they're not going to do any damage. All they can do is DG them. So Caen is very important. So like I say, if you can keep Caen in the clear, keep the canal crossings owned by the Germans, then you can focus on any kind of counterstroke down here to the west side of the river here, which it looks like that's where the fight's going to have to be for the Germans to take back some victory locations. All right, guys, so that is turn 15. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. That is the morning turn of 12 June. Still enjoying this. I'm liking this game. It's making me want to play other Normandy invasion type games. All right, comments, suggestions. I expect them from you, David, and you, Nightjar. Give me some what's up on this. Let's see if I'll try to do a low flight on how blurry it'll be. Sorry, I have not mastered this yet. All right, so here we go from the southwest, working back along the river. 7th Armored's over there. They're going to finish off that unit in that stack right there, I'm sure. All right, now you start to move into the 50th and the 51st, or 51st and 50th Infantry. Right into the Canadians, who still have a great size force. Right in front of Caen to the 3rd British Infantry, which I really don't know how much more they can do in there. You see a lot of their units are flipped already. Over to the bridges, to the canals, and down the canals to where the commandos and what's left of Para. All right. All right, guys. Let's get this thing posted. Like I said, give me your comments, give me your tips, give me your advice. Tell me what I boo-booed at. What if I did something that probably wasn't a good idea. I like it. I like the suggestions. All right. Talk to you all soon.